Once upon a time, in a bright and cheerful forest filled with tall trees and blooming flowers, there lived a little rabbit named Benny. Benny was not just any rabbit. He had the fluffiest white fur and the biggest, kindest brown eyes. He loved hopping around the forest, making friends with all the other animals and exploring new places. Every spring, the forest would come alive with colors as songbirds built their nests high in the trees, laying beautiful eggs of all shades. Red, blue, yellow, and green. One sunny morning, Benny woke up to the sweet melodies of the songbirds. Oh, what a lovely day, he thought, stretching his little legs and yawning. He decided to visit his friends, the songbirds, to see their newly laid eggs. But as he hopped through the forest, a strange silence enveloped the trees. Benny stopped, puzzled. Where were the songs of the birds? Curious, Benny hopped a little faster toward the tallest oak tree where the happiest songbird family lived. As he reached the base of the tree, he looked up and gasped. The nests looked empty, and there were no eggs to be seen. Benny's heart sank. "Oh no, where have all the beautiful eggs gone?" he whispered to himself. Just then, Benny heard a rustling noise nearby. He turned to see his good friend Greta the Squirrel. With her bushy tail and bright eyes, Greta was always ready for an adventure. "What's wrong, Benny?" she asked, noticing his worried face. "The songbird eggs are gone," Benny exclaimed with his little paws on his cheeks. "I think someone has taken them. We have to help them get the eggs back." Greta's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Let's be detectives. We can find clues to help the songbirds," she said, jumping up and down. Benny nodded with determination, feeling a rush of hope. The two friends set off, searching for clues around the forest. They inspected the bushes and looked under rocks. They soon came across a trail of shiny feathers leading toward a group of bushes. "Look, Benny, feathers!" Greta pointed excitedly. Following the trail, they edged closer to the bushes and then suddenly froze. Benny and Greta peeked through the leaves and saw a group of playful chipmunks. The little chipmunks were giggling and laughing, bouncing around while playing with colorful objects. Benny squinted to see what they were holding. To his shock, they were holding the very rainbow eggs. "Oh no, those are the songbird eggs," Benny whispered to Greta, his little heart racing. "What are the chipmunks doing with them?" "I think they're playing a prank," Greta said, covering her mouth to stifle a giggle. "They love to play tricks, but this isn't funny at all." Benny nodded in agreement. "We have to talk to them. They need to understand how important these eggs are to the songbirds." With that, they stepped out from behind the bushes, ready to confront the chipmunks. Benny cleared his throat. "Excuse me, chipmunks," he called out. The chipmunks stopped their play, turning to look at the duo with wide eyes. In the middle of the group stood a cheeky little chipmunk named Charlie, known for his mischievous antics. "What do you want, Benny and Greta?" he asked with a cheeky grin. "We are having fun." Benny took a deep breath, trying to be calm. "Charlie, we saw you with the songbird eggs. You need to give them back. Those eggs are very special. They belong to the songbirds who worked hard to build their nests." The chipmunks looked at each other, their smiles fading. "But we just wanted to play with the pretty eggs," Charlie replied, his enthusiasm waning. Greta stepped forward. "But you can't take things that don't belong to you," she explained softly. "The songbirds are worried and sad. Do you really want to hurt your friends just for fun?" Listening carefully, the chipmunks began to frown. Benny added, "When we take something without asking, it can make others feel unhappy." "Wouldn't you feel bad if someone took your favorite acorn?" Charlie looked down, his little ears drooping. "I wouldn't like that at all," he admitted. The other chipmunks nodded somberly. Benny noticed how the chipmunks were feeling sad about the trouble they had caused. "What if we all play together? The songbirds can join us, and we can have fun without taking their eggs," he suggested with a bright smile. "Really?" Charlie asked, his eyes shining with hope. "You mean we can have a big forest party with the songbirds?" "Yes," Greta cheered. "We can celebrate the return of the eggs together." The chipmunks began to cheer, their laughter returning as they realized how much fun they could have together. "Benny, you're right. Let's give the eggs back," Charlie said excitedly. Benny and Greta watched as the little chipmunks carefully placed each colorful egg back into the nests. They scrambled and bounced around, returning the eggs to the delighted songbirds, who chirped sweet melodies of gratitude. Once the eggs were safely returned, the songbirds joined in on the fun. They flew down, singing beautiful songs that filled the forest with joy. The chipmunks danced around as Benny and Greta helped organize a fun game of tag. The forest turned into a playground of laughter, songs, and games, as the sun began to set, painting the sky with shades of pink and orange. The animals all sat together, sharing delicious berries and nuts. The songbirds sang joyous tunes, their sweet voices filling the air. Benny felt happy to see everyone laughing and playing together. He turned to Greta and whispered, "I'm glad we helped them understand how important it is to share and be kind." Greta nodded. "Yes, Benny, and now we all have new friends," she shouted, making everyone cheer even louder. As the day came to an end, Benny and Greta felt proud of what they had done. Not only did they help the songbirds get their eggs back, but they also showed the chipmunks the importance of thinking about how our actions affect others. From that day on, the animals of the forest played together happily, sharing their games, their laughter, and their kindness. And whenever someone had an idea that might not be the best for others, the wise little rabbit named Benny would remind them, "Remember, friends, we must always think of others first and share the joy." And so Benny and his friends lived happily ever after, making the forest a wonderful place filled with friendship and love. The moral of the story is, always think about how your actions affect others. Sharing and kindness bring happiness to everyone.